English here and now.
Let's do something new. Use the English inside you. Let's do something new. Speak up and just be you. Show the world what you can do.英会話 time trial.
Let's get started with day 2 for the month of August. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Steve Soresi.
And I'm Jenny Skidmore. Thanks for joining us.
I have a question for you. 英会話スクールについて聞きます。Are you going to an English conversation school now? どうぞ。Okay. How about you, Jenny? Are you going to an English conversation school now?
No, I'm not, Steve. I think my English is good enough. But I am studying Japanese.
Okay, these are sudden questions. And if you practice, you can reply in your own words. The key is practice. Now today, we'll do something special. Right, Jenny?
That's right. Today is an almost all English day.
ほぼ英語で行います。Okay, today's Tuesday, so we'll practice some basic phrases.
Let's begin.
Activate some basic phrases.
SPR 1.
Okay, here's today's basic phrase in Japanese. もう少し何々なのはありますか? In Japanese and in English, that's a useful phrase. But when you say it in English, here's the phrase.
Do you have one that's a little...
And after that is an adjective. 形容詞が入ります. Okay, are you ready?
Let's go.
The first question is, もう少し薄いのはありますか? Go ahead.
Do you have one that's a little thinner?
薄い is thin. もう少し薄い is thinner. Next, let's do the opposite. もう少し熱いのはありますか? Go ahead.
Do you have one that's a little thicker?
Do you understand? You could use that for paper, a coat, or anything. It's a very useful phrase. So here's the next one. もう少し新しいのはありますか? Go ahead.
Do you have one that's a little newer?
もう少し安いのはありますか?
Do you have one that's a little cheaper?
もう少し小さいのはありますか?
Do you have one that's a little smaller?
Okay, time's up.
There were 5 phrases. Did you complete them all?
To complete these phrases, you needed to say the adjective and put an ER at the end. Let's review them now. もう少し薄い is a little thinner. もう少し熱い is
A little thicker.
もう少し新しいのは
A little newer.
もう少し安いのは
A little cheaper.
もう少し小さいのは
A little smaller.
And we used the phrase, do you have one? 例えば、もう少し厚い紙がありますか? You could say, do you have a piece of paper that's a little thicker? Or you could say, do you have one that's a little thicker? 目の前のものよりもう少し何々という時の便利な表現です。Do you have one that's a little? Okay, let's say these 5 one more time. But this time, I'll shuffle the order.
So listen closely. Let's go!
もう少し小さいのはありますか? もう少し新しいのはありますか? もう少し熱いのはありますか? もう少し薄いのはありますか? もう少し安いのはありますか?
Okay, time's up. Let's go on to our next time trial.
Activate some basic phrases.
SPR2.
In SPR2, we use this same phrase. Do you have one that's a little? But this time, the adjective will change. もう少し長い形容詞になります。So when the word is longer, you use more instead of er. For example, how do you say 難しい in English? Difficult. And より難しい is more difficult. That's a basic example. そしてもう少し難しくない is another important phrase, and that is less difficult.
So let's practice some useful questions for shopping. You'll use the word more or less and an adjective. Got it? Here we go.
もう少し持ち運びしやすいのはありますか? So use portable in the question. Go ahead.
Do you have one that's a little more portable?
Here's the next one. もう少し地味なのはありますか? Use the word conservative. Go ahead.
Do you have one that's a little more conservative?
もう少しおしゃれなのはありますか? Use the word stylish. Go ahead.
Do you have one that's a little more stylish?
Okay, next we'll use phrases with less. もう少し複雑でないのはありますか? Go ahead.
Do you have one that's a little less complicated?
And the next one is 派手。もう少し派手でないのはありますか?
Do you have one that's a little less flashy?
Okay, time's up.
Were you able to complete all 5 questions?
Let's review the adjectives. 持ち運びしやすい、
Portable,
地味、
conservative,
おしゃれ、
stylish,
複雑、
complicated,
派手。
flashy.
Those were the 5 new adjectives. And we practiced using more or less. Okay, let's try these 5 one more time, but I'll shuffle the order.
So pay extra attention. Let's go.
もう少し地味なのはありますか? もう少し複雑でないのはありますか? もう少し持ち運びしやすいのはありますか? もう少し派手でないのはありますか? もう少しおしゃれなのはありますか?
Time's up. Did you say all 5?
We started a new theme where you're traveling even more. And today, you're shopping even better with this useful phrase.
Do you have one that's a little...
Okay, good job today.
This month's theme is vacationing more in Hawaii.
本気で旅の英会話。テキストには解説や日本語訳、そして英会話に役立つ僕からのアドバイスも載っていますよ。
And you can start learning with us anytime. See you next time on
英会話 Time Trial. Goodbye!